This is the History of Algeria podcast. Each week on Mondays, we'll be updating new information about the history of Algeria. This is an Eat to My Own Beat podcast. Welcome back to the History of Algeria podcast, episode 43, the Second Sicilian War. By 410 BC, Carthage had recovered from its serious defeats in Sicily. It had conquered much of the modern-day Tunisia and founded new colonies across northern Africa. It also extended its reach well beyond the Mediterranean. Hanno the Navigator journeyed down the West African coast, and Himilco the Navigator had explored the European Atlantic coast. Expeditions were also led into Morocco and Senegal, as well as the Atlantic. The same year, the Iberian colonies seceded, cutting off Carthage from the major source of silver and copper. The loss of such strategic important mineral wealth, combined with the desire to exercise firmer control over shipping routes, led to Hannibal Mago, grandson of Hamilcar, to make preparations to reclaim Sicily. In 409 BC, Hannibal Mago set out for Sicily with his force. He captured the smaller cities of Salonius and Himera, where the Carthaginians had been dealt a humiliating defeat 70 years prior, before returning triumphantly to Carthage with the spoils of war. But the primary enemy, Syracuse, remained untouched, and in 405 BC, Hannibal Mago led a second Carthaginian expedition to claim the rest of the island. This time, however, he met with fiercer resistance as well as misfortune. During the siege of Agrigentum, Carthaginian forces were ravaged by the plague, which claimed Hannibal Mago himself. His successor, Himilco, managed to extend the campaign, capturing the city of Gela and reportedly defeating the army of Dionysius of Syracuse. But he too was struck with the plague and forced to sue for peace before returning to Carthage. By 398 BC, Dionysius had regained his strength and broke the peace treaty, striking the Carthaginian stronghold of Motia in western Sicily. Himilco responded decisively, leading an expedition that not only reclaimed Motia, but reclaimed Messicin, or modern-day Messina. Within a year, the Carthaginians were besieged Syracuse itself, and came close to victory until the plague once again ravaged and reduced their forces. The fighting in Sicily swung in favor of Carthage less than a decade later in 387 BC. After winning a naval battle off the coast of Catena, Himilco laid siege to Syracuse with 50,000 Carthaginians, but yet another epidemic struck, with down thousands of them. With the enemy assault stalled and weakened, Dionysius then launched a surprise counterattack by land and sea, destroying all the Carthaginian ships, while its crews were ashore. At the same time, his ground forces stormed the besiegers' lines, routed them. Himilco and his chief officers abandoned their army and fled Sicily. Once again, the Carthaginians were forced to press for peace, returning to Carthage in disgrace. Himilco was met with contempt and committed suicide by starving himself. Notwithstanding consistently poor luck and costly reversals, Sicily remained an obsession for Carthage. Over the next 50 years, an uneasy peace reigned. Carthaginian and Greek forces engaged in constant skirmishes. By 340 BC, Carthage had been pushed entirely into the southern corner of the island. Thank you for listening to the History of Algeria podcast. Please check back every Monday at noon Pacific time for a new episode. Also available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Check us out at www.eattomyownbeat.com.